If you've already worked on your sleep, food, and routine, but still feel drained or disconnected, you're not alone. Many older adults address the surface, but miss the deeper systems that quietly shape how they feel, move, and recover. In this video, you'll learn 20 lesser-known ways to reduce fatigue and low mood after 60, without pressure and without guesswork. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what might finally make a difference. Let's begin. Part 1. 5 subtle but correctable stressors that drain energy after 61. Shallow mouth breathing and low diaphragm engagement breathing through the mouth, even occasionally, keeps the nervous system in a light fight-or-flight state. Over time, this reduces oxygen exchange efficiency, dries out the airways, and fatigues the upper chest muscles. Low diaphragm activation also reduces parasympathetic tone, the body's natural rest and recovery response. What to do? Practice 5 minutes of nasal breathing twice a day. Inhale for 4 seconds. Pause 1 second. Exhale for 6 seconds. During walks or seated tasks, place one hand on your belly and one on your chest. Ensure the belly expands more. Avoid breathing through the mouth when concentrating. Notice and correct gently. Hum softly while exhaling. This extends breath cycles and activates the vagus nerve. Use tape or a soft chin strap during sleep if you often wake with dry mouth after consulting your doctor. Correcting breath patterns restores natural energy without supplements or stimulants. 2. Lack of gentle hip and spine mobilization. Many seniors stretch arms or legs but ignore deep mobility of the pelvis and spine. Restricted movement in these areas compresses nerves, limits circulation, and reduces energy flow, especially while seated or after long rest. What to do? Perform seated hip tilts for 2 minutes daily. Rock your pelvis forward and back without lifting the feet. Practice slow, gentle spinal twists while sitting upright. Alternate left and right with the breath. Lie on your back with knees bent and slowly drop knees side to side. 10 reps. Do cat-cow motion on all fours, or seated version, to restore spine rhythm. Massage glute and lower back muscles with a soft ball or cushion daily. When your spine and hips regain motion, the nervous system feels safer, and energy rebounds. 3. Sensory monotony in daily environment. Spending time in visually or acoustically flat spaces tells the brain there's nothing new to respond to. This reduces dopamine production, which controls motivation, focus, and natural drive. What to do? Change where you sit for meals or rest once per day. Open a window for real-world sounds, birds, breeze, distant voices. Introduce scent variation, citrus in the morning, herbal in the evening. Rotate pillows, lamps, or photos weekly, not for aesthetics, but for novelty. Use a textured object during conversations or thinking, a stone, pine cone, or woven cloth. Micro-stimulation supports macro-awakening. New input equals new engagement. 4. Low vocal use and underused facial expression. When speech becomes minimal, the voice weakens and facial muscles lose tone. This affects more than communication. It lowers vagus nerve tone, increases emotional flatness, and reduces social drive. What to do? Read aloud 1 short paragraph per day, even from a recipe or newspaper. Sing or hum softly during simple activities, like washing dishes or folding laundry. Make 3 exaggerated facial expressions daily: joy, surprise, calm, to retrain flexibility. Speak to yourself gently out loud when completing small tasks. Practice light jaw release. Open wide, stretch the tongue out. Gently move side to side. Your voice and face are part of your emotional system. Keeping them active prevents withdrawal. 5. Extended static. Sitting without weight shifting. Even if posture is good, remaining still too long decreases lymph flow and compresses the lower abdomen. This reduces detoxification and slows nutrient circulation, especially to the brain. What to do? Shift your weight side to side every 10 to 15 minutes while sitting. Raise one foot briefly and hold for 5 seconds. Then alternate. Sit on a cushion that encourages slight micro-movements, wobble or air-filled. Stand up fully and roll shoulders every 30 to 45 minutes. After meals, walk slowly for 2 to 3 minutes instead of sitting still. Stillness isn't rest if it's rigid. Movement refreshes your whole system, not just your legs. Part 2. 5 internal rhythms that restore energy. If you learn to work with them. 1. Ignoring natural hunger and satiety signals many older adults eat by habit, schedule, or obligation, not by genuine hunger. This often leads to undereating, oversnacking, or skipping meals entirely, which destabilizes blood sugar and contributes to physical and mental fatigue. What to do? Before every meal, pause and ask, "Am I physically hungry? Or just filling time?" Wait for mild hunger, not extremes. Then eat slowly and attentively. Avoid eating just because it's time if you feel tense or distracted. After eating, notice, do I feel nourished, bloated, or unchanged? Adjust next meal based on that. Include 1 to 2 quiet meals per week without screens or conversation to rebuild connection with internal cues. Tuning in to hunger is a core biological rhythm. Restoring it realigns metabolism and mood. 2. Inconsistent morning light exposure. Your body clock, the circadian rhythm, is reset every morning by exposure to light. Without enough morning brightness, melatonin stays elevated, and cortisol, your daytime activator, remains low, leading to sluggishness and mood blunting. What to do? Within 30 minutes of waking, sit by a window or step outside for at least 10 minutes. Avoid sunglasses in the first hour of daylight. Let your eyes receive natural light. Never stare at the sun. If daylight is limited, use a 10,000 lux light therapy box for 15 to 30 minutes during breakfast. Keep lights dim in the evening. This preserves natural contrast between day and night. Stay consistent, even on cloudy days. Brightness still matters. Proper light timing doesn't just help sleep. It resets every organ's internal clock, including the brain's mood centers. 3. Lack of intentional transitions. Between activities, older adults often drift between tasks without clear shifts. This creates mental fog, low motivation, and unfinished thoughts that accumulate throughout the day. What to do? Create start and end signals for your main daily tasks, like stretching before reading or music after cooking. Stand up, shake out your arms, or breathe slowly for 30 seconds between activities. Use simple phrases like, "I'm done with this," or "Now I shift" aloud when moving between tasks. Avoid stacking unrelated tasks, TV plus meals plus texting. This confuses focus. At the end of the day, name 3 things you completed, no matter how small, to close the mental loop. Transitions organize your brain. Without them, energy leaks between scattered efforts. 4. Passive postural collapse. During rest periods, fatigue often makes people sink into chairs or beds, rounded spine, collapsed chest, low breath. This posture compresses the lungs and diaphragm, reduces oxygen intake, and reinforces the sensation of heaviness. What to do? Use a small cushion or rolled towel behind the lower back while sitting. Elevate the chest slightly. A folded blanket across the upper back can help. Sit with feet flat, and knees slightly lower than hips to open the pelvis. Breathe slowly into the back ribs for 2 to 3 minutes while resting upright. Avoid napping in soft couches. Opt for a firm chair or semi-reclined position. Restoration requires openness in posture, breath, and organ support. 5. Irregular emotional expression. Across the week. When days blend together emotionally, no laughter, no tears, no expressive moments, the emotional system begins to shut down. This creates a dull, numb feeling that mimics depression and reduces motivation. What to do? Schedule 1 to 2 emotional check-in moments weekly, where you ask, "What do I truly feel right now?" Watch or listen to something that evokes a strong emotion, joy, grief, awe, then let it move through you. Call someone with whom you can speak honestly. No performance, no forced positivity. Use art, music, or writing to express something internal, without analyzing it. Don't fear tears or laughter. Both release internal tension and activate healing pathways. Emotions are not problems, they're signals, and honoring them restores life force. If these rhythms have been out of sync, don't rush to fix them all at once. Choose one, support it for a week, and see how your energy responds. Like this video if even one idea gave you a clearer next step. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss Part 3, where we'll explore deeper brain-body connections that most advice overlooks. Part 3. 5 brain-body disconnects that quietly drain vitality in later life. 1. Underuse of fine motor skills and manual dexterity. As people age, gross motor movements, walking, standing, may remain part of daily life, but fine motor tasks, detailed hand movements, often decrease. This reduces stimulation to the motor cortex, which is directly linked to mood regulation and attention. What to do? Use your hands daily for tasks that require coordination: folding paper, sorting coins, buttoning and unbuttoning, peeling fruits, sewing, or drawing. Practice mirror hand movements. Do the same motion with both hands at once for 1 to 2 minutes. Use putty, stress balls, or hand grippers to strengthen grip without tension. Alternate dominant and non-dominant hand use when brushing teeth or stirring food. Trace letters or shapes with fingertips on fabric or textured surfaces. Small, controlled movement reawakens parts of the brain linked to precision, calm, and confidence. 2. Lack of structured mental challenge that leads to completion. Mental engagement is often present in retirement, but without closure. Reading articles, watching videos, or browsing aimlessly stimulates information input but doesn't lead to meaningful output, which leaves the brain understimulated and fatigued. What to do? Choose short mental projects with a beginning and end. Solve puzzles, write a short paragraph, learn a recipe by heart, or complete a game. Use memory recall actively. Name 5 past travel memories, list old phone numbers, or describe a room from your childhood. Learn a short poem or song stanza, and recite it aloud daily. Teach someone a simple concept you understand well, even if just over the phone. Dedicate 15 minutes to a focused mental task daily. No multitasking allowed. Completion satisfies the brain's reward system, creating natural energy, not stimulation-based fatigue. 3. Emotional saturation from unfiltered background content. Even if you're not paying attention, the emotional tone of what's around you, TV shows, online clips, dramatic music, is absorbed by your nervous system. This creates emotional saturation, leading to flatness, anxiety, or hidden stress buildup. What to do? Audit your audio-visual inputs for 1 full day. Note anything that feels tense, fast, or chaotic. Replace background TV or radio with neutral or uplifting ambient sound. Water, nature, soft jazz, or silence. Set limits for exposure to news and high-drama content. Even 10 fewer minutes helps. Choose one day per week to be emotionally quiet. Minimal intense content, slower pace, calm surroundings. End your day with emotional neutrality. Something that doesn't activate highs or lows. Managing your media tone is emotional hygiene. Your mood reflects what you absorb. 4. Missing the therapeutic value of consistent walking patterns. Many older adults walk daily, but with random routes, uneven surfaces, or inconsistent timing. Unstructured walking lacks rhythm, which prevents the body from accessing the calming benefits of locomotion. What to do? Create a set route you follow 2 to 3 times per week, even a loop indoors. Walk at the same time of day for consistency. Early morning or before sunset is ideal. Count your steps silently in 10s or 20s to promote rhythmic pacing. Walk with a soft gaze forward and arms swinging naturally. If possible, end each walk with 1 minute of still standing, eyes closed, and slow breathing. Repetition is regulation. When the body walks in rhythm, the brain calms and resets. 5. Neglecting the feet. Your nervous system's contact point with the earth. The feet contain over 200,000 nerve endings, but shoes, inactivity, and age-related stiffness reduce feedback to the brain. Poor foot stimulation contributes to imbalance, fatigue, and a vague sense of physical detachment. What to do? Walk barefoot indoors for a few minutes daily, on safe, clean surfaces. Use a textured mat or rolled towel under your feet while sitting. Gently massage feet with a ball, roller, or by hand before bed. Soak feet in warm water and alternate with cool compresses 2 to 3 times per week. Wiggle toes, spread them, and press the foot into the floor for activation. When your feet are awake, your entire body becomes more grounded and alert. These practices may seem simple, but they're neurologically powerful. They rebuild the dialogue between your body and brain, and in doing so, they reduce both physical and emotional weight. If you're finding this helpful, like the video and turn on the bell so you won't miss Part 4, where we'll explore how personal identity, expectation, and self-perception impact energy more than most people realize. And comment below, which part of your system feels most disconnected, and which of these 5 steps can help rebuild that link. Part 4. 5 identity-level shifts that free up energy after 61. Believing fatigue is just who I am now. After years of physical slowdown or emotional wear, it's easy to internalize tiredness as part of your identity. This mindset, even if unspoken, prevents the body from responding to recovery signals. The brain stops looking for change when it believes fatigue is permanent. What to do? Separate condition from identity. Say, I feel tired today, not, I'm just always tired. Identify moments when you feel different, more alert, curious, or calm, and write them down. Notice phrases you repeat internally. I'm slow now, I can't focus, and reframe them. Right now, I'm learning how to pace myself. Keep a small evidence log of energy improvements, even minor ones, to challenge the default story. Share your shifts with someone who will reflect your progress back to you. Identity is not fixed. It adapts, but only if you give it updated information. 2. Viewing rest as doing nothing. Instead of active recovery, many older adults feel guilty when resting, especially if they were once high-achieving, busy, or relied on productivity for self-worth. But rest is a physiological process, not a sign of passivity. Mislabeling it creates tension, and tension blocks restoration. What to do? Redefine rest as a purposeful activity, not an absence of effort. Choose recovery tools that involve low engagement, soft music, rocking chairs, guided relaxation, or gentle breathing. Give rest a place in your day, not just when you're exhausted, but when you're stable. Avoid multitasking during rest. No scrolling or background TV. Use language like, "I'm giving my body time to repair," rather than, "I'm wasting time." Permission to rest is energy in itself. Third, letting past roles. Define current worth after retirement or family shifts. It's common to feel unclear about value. If identity was once tied to a career, caregiving role, or societal contribution, the absence of that role can mimic depression or fatigue, even when the body is healthy. What to do? Reflect on what qualities you brought to past roles. Reliability, problem-solving, compassion. Not just tasks. Apply those same traits in new contexts. Friendships, creative hobbies, community activities, or mentoring. Keep a weekly purpose log. Even small acts of value like encouraging a neighbor or organizing a shelf count. Avoid the phrase, "I used to be." Focus on, "Today I'm choosing to." Explore interests you postponed. Let curiosity lead rather than duty. You are not your old job. You're still the person who did it, with transferable meaning. 4. Accepting emotional flatness as safe. Some people protect themselves from hurt by numbing joy, excitement, or even hope. This may feel stable, but emotional flattening dampens motivation, reduces energy, and disconnects you from the nervous system's natural wave. What to do? Choose 1 to 2 moments per week to deliberately feel something without judgment. Awe, sadness, warmth, surprise. Engage with beauty. Sunsets, meaningful music, photos of loved ones, or stories that touch you. Avoid default responses like, "I'm fine," even to yourself. Be honest. Express something emotionally true every week, in writing, speech, or art. When tears or laughter arise, don't block them. Let them complete. Feeling is not danger. It's capacity. And you have more than you think. 5. Waiting to feel ready before making changes. Chronic fatigue often tells you to wait until you have more energy. But paradoxically, many energy-restoring actions create their effect after you begin. Waiting for motivation delays improvement. What to do? Choose the smallest possible version of the thing you're avoiding, and do it today. Don't measure success by intensity. Measure by repetition. Use action as the trigger for readiness, not the result. Plan for your low-energy self, not your ideal self. Set expectations based on your current capacity. Remember, change begins with signal, not willpower. Movement creates momentum, even when it feels small. Final thoughts. These 5 shifts are not about becoming someone else. They're about letting go of what no longer fits and gently reconnecting with your body's deeper capacity for clarity, expression, and strength. If you followed all 4 parts of this series, thank you. Like this video if it gave you something to reflect on. Subscribe and turn on the bell to stay connected to what comes next. And comment. What part of your internal story are you ready to change? Your recovery is not a return to the past. It's a quiet step forward, into your present, with more space to breathe. See you in the next video.